So the old EB70 only took 200 watts of solar. This will take 500, and that's a massive difference. Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. As you can see, I'm standing in front of another Bluetti box, and you're thinking to yourself, oh, here we go again. But there's a lot of new people coming out. There are a lot of new people who will be watching this in the future. So for those of you, here's another power station review. Now, why Bluetti? And a lot of people accuse me of being a shill. They've bought me out and I'm sold out. I've never received a penny from Bluetti. Never given me a penny, not one, not even one penny. They do send me these things. I didn't pay for this. They sent it to me. And I just pass them along. Of all the ones I've gotten from them, and it's probably a dozen almost, I've kept one because I found it so handy. I want a small one that's portable and I can carry it around. No, I'm not being paid. I'm giving you my honest opinion. Now, they're not the only good one, Bluetti, but the bang for the buck is the best of any of them. I don't know what the price will be on this. This is an AC70, and I believe what they're doing is replacing their EB line. Let me show you the EB line. This is the EB70, and this is the only one that they've sent me that I carry it around. For the bang for the buck, for the size, is really outstanding. Some of them are too small, some of them are too big, just like Goldilocks. For me, this one is just right. And so I need to do things away from the van. I've got my own solar system. I don't need one to use, but sometimes I have to do things away from the van. Having a portable power station is really, really nice. I understand now why everybody loves them. So it looks to me like they're replacing the whole the whole EB line and the other lines and consolidating them in the AC. My guess is they'll keep selling this because it's such an outstanding model. In fact, when they wrote me and told me about the new 4 models they had, they sent me the specs, and I looked at them and said, listen, you guys did such a great job with the EB3A and the EB70. I don't see how you can replace it, how it can be any better. And this is a little better. I've looked at the specs, and I've actually unboxed it before. Okay, so first they sent cords, and it's just the standard cords. It uses an XT60, and this is a cigarette lighter plug. You can charge it while you're driving around. It also has an MC4 connector that goes to an XT60, and I like XT60. It's a good connector, and all of these are big, heavy cables, and I really like that. And this is the AC cord. You plug this into it, and then you plug it into the wall or into a generator, and then you're charging. And one of the big pluses to the new AC is that they charge even faster. Now, one thing you'll notice about this, and the rest, this is an empty box except for the unit and the manual, of course. There's no brick. They've eliminated the brick. They moved the brick inside. It's still small, but the power supply, you plug this into a wall, and there's usually a 8-10 inch by 5-inch brick. Well, there's no brick, and so I like that a lot. All right, so let's get the new AC70 out of here. Ta-da! Here it is. Looks a whole lot like the other AC line, just smaller, and I kind of like that too. But this is very similar in size. You can see they're real similar in size. So for now, we're mainly going to talk about the specs. I like the red. These are all the gray. You don't get that option. One thing that I noticed right away is this has a wireless charging, 15-watt wireless charging right here on top. I really, really like that. I really like that. This does not have wireless charging. That's gone. I'm not fond of that. So the size of the battery is the very first thing I start to think about, and this is just a little bit bigger, AC70, EB70, so obviously there's a 70 in there. So this is 716 watt hours, and this is 786. It's a little bit bigger battery. Not a lot, not as significant. It's 10% bigger. So it's a 10% bigger battery. The next thing is the inverter. This has an 800 watt inverter. This has a 1,000 watt inverter. Again, a little better. And the third number that I think is really important, and you should always consider before you buy any power station of any kind, is how much solar will it take in? Most of us are charging with solar. So the old EB70 only took 200 watts of solar. You could open up one 200 watt solar panel and it would charge from that. This will take 500, and that's a massive difference. So I carry, to charge these things, I carry two 200-watt solar panels, because I get in a lot of big ones to test. So to my mind, that is the single biggest advantage of the AC70. It's a little bigger, which I think is an advantage. You won't get as much heat as this does. But if you were buying a new one against the EB70 or the AC70, I would buy the AC70, depending on the price. And I don't know what the prices are going to be yet. I would buy on price, probably. But being able to put in 500 watts of solar, a little slightly faster charging, I think I'd buy the AC70 at this point. The AC180 is a jump up from this, but the price goes up pretty significantly. Okay, that's it for now. That's an introduction to my first thoughts about what Bluetti is doing. Okay, now I'm going to take this and use it and tell you all about my results of actual field use. And I'll be back before you can snap your fingers. So I've been using the CL70 for a while now, and I'm ready to give you my final thoughts and recommendations. So it's a direct competitor to the EB70S, which is a fantastic piece of equipment. So fantastic that of all the things Bluetti has ever sent to me, it's the only one I've ever carried with me. I want to be able to have something portable power. So I've been carrying this, and now with the AC70, I'm going to don't give this away, give it to somebody, a friend or somebody in need, and I'm going to keep the AC70. And the primary reason is that it will take 500 watts of solar, and the EB70 will only take 200 watts of solar. That difference alone is enough to convince me that the AC70 is the tool I want to have in my rig. Why? Why is that 500 versus 200 watts of solar so big? Well, it's a cloudy day now. So if you got a day like today, and I get a lot of days like today, well, having 500 watts of solar coming in will get you charged when 200 watts won't even begin. For solar power, I have two 200-watt solar panels that I bought and I've tested, and I'm very happy with. So I have 400 watts coming in. Well, I've doubled the amount of solar I have coming in with this one over this one. So see, again, now I'm in the sun and it's bright. And if this was like this all day, in those brief sections of sun, you got to really put in all the power you can because you're not getting a lot of sun. In the summer, it probably wouldn't make much difference. In the winter, it's the difference between keeping everything running and just running out of power. So that alone convinces me that the AC70 is a better product. If you're looking to buy mid-sized, the AC70 is the one to buy. Another feature that I really like about it is that it has an extra 200 watts of inverter, 800 versus 1,000. So I think that's a worthy upgrade in itself. Another thing I like about it is that every electronic device, even when you turn it on, even if it's not doing anything, it takes power and burns it. An inverter is a classic example of a no-load draw. If you turn an inverter on, whatever the inverter is, no matter how high the quality, it's going to burn power just the fact that it's turned on. Well, that's lower for this. That's one of their big features that they're advertising, and I believe it's 0.6 amps an hour, which with a 1,000-watt pure sine wave inverter is very, very good. That's a low. Pure sine waves work harder, they burn more power. So, and every power station you should buy should have pure sine wave. So that's a very good feature. It charges faster. It will charge in 45 minutes from 0 to 80, and that's very impressive. That's something that Bluetti is introducing across the entire AC line. Very fast charging if you have AC. And you can combine AC and solar charging together and get phenomenal charging. I mean, just really, really fast charging. So that's a plus. The only negative is the old EB70S had a wireless phone charging right here on the top. You just put your phone down on it, it starts charging if it has wireless charging built in. So it's a loss, it's a takeaway, but I'm gaining, because I don't even use it, I'm gaining so much more that I won't ever miss that. Now, to give you an idea of what you can do with the AC70, a lot of you want to know, can I run my fridge? So I've tested it. I've turned it on, plugged in my fridge to it on the 12-volt cigarette lighter plug, and it ran it for 16 hours and used 70%. I was very impressed with that. I thought that was really good. I thought a lot of that is the efficiency of the unit, and I believe they have made these much more efficient. They're not wasting power, burning power. They're putting as much power as possible into your devices instead of just sitting there burning it up. And the reason I chose 16 hours is because that's how long your time frame of darkness will be. So you're going to get 8 hours of good light, almost even in the winter, you're going to get 8 hours of some decent light. So as soon as you have light, you get the solar attached up to 500 watts, and you're putting it back in, and it's putting it back in and recharging it at the same time. That's again why 500 watts of solar charging is so important. If you're down to half or less on your charge, a bunch of the power, if you're putting in 200 watts, half of that's going into charging it. So you're not able to run much while it's charging because the battery is so low. If you have 500 watts coming in, then it can both charge the battery and run your other devices at the same time. So the bottom line is, I said all that, I think it's a very, very fine piece of equipment. Like I said, I don't know the price yet, and so that will play a major part of your decision. Also, the AC70 has, I think, 60 more watt hours. Not a significant difference, but it's still more, it's still better. In every way, the AC70 wins over the EB70. If you can get it really cheap, the EB70 is a fantastic piece of equipment, but the AC70 is better. Okay, I hope that helped you. I hope you got a better idea of what you can do with your power station and which one to choose. If you did, then like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later. And remember, forget everything else I said, but remember this. When you come to the end of your life, don't have regrets. Oh, I wish I had have, I would have, I could have, I should have. Don't let that be your story. Look back at your life with joy, with wonderful memories. That's what I wish for every one of you. And you got to go out and do it today because it won't happen any other time. See ya.